Today I'm going to flash Libreboot onto a Dell Latitude E6400. I'm using Arch Linux, so you'll have to use whatever commands and repository that is for your own distro. So first I'm going to need flash ROM or flash prog. I'll just install both. I already have them. Next I'm going to modify the grub config. So here where it says grub command line Linux default equals, you want to add IOM relaxed. You see that there? You want to add that within the quotation marks. And if you're using Nano, you do Control O, Enter, Control X. And then you're going to have to update grub. Output it to grub. All right, that's good. So next I'm going to so you go to the Libreboot website and you click download and you go to mirrors, find one that's close to you, close to where you live, and download from it. And then you look for your specific laptop, your specific ROM size, and you want to make sure you know whether you have NVIDIA or just the regular Intel GPU. If you use the wrong one, you can brick your laptop, and it's a pain to fix. You're going to have to externally flash it with a clip and all this stuff. So make sure you get the right one. I know that I'm going to use this one. I've already downloaded it, but download it again. And then next, I'm going to get the flash utility. I've already gotten it, but I'll pretend like I didn't. So I'm going to make a directory called git, and I already made that directory. So I'm going to change into that directory. I'm going to git clone, and then let me see here. It's https codeberg.org Libreboot, and then Libreboot make utility. So it's LBMK. It already exists because I already got it. So I'm going to change into that directory. I'm going to go to lbmk/util, and then I'm going to change into Dell Flash Unlock. Look what's in there. First, I'm going to type make. Okay, and then I'm going to run this. Well, we've got to do sudo run Dell Flash Unlock. I am not going to do that because I already did that, but it's going to tell you to shut down your laptop. So what you want to do is you're going to type shut down sudo shutdown now, press enter, and then pause the video because I already did that. So now we're going on to the next step. So the next proper step would be to, well, here, let's just do it the easy way. Go to my downloads, Libreboot, this one. I'm going to extract it here. And then I already did that. All right. And then I'm going to go into bin. It's going to make a folder called bin. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go to E6400, 4 megabytes. And then I'm going to open the terminal here. The next proper step would be to inject your MAC address into the file. But I really don't care to do that because I'm not going to be using more than one Libreboot laptop at a time. And the odds that I'm at a library or something and somebody else has it and there's like a MAC address collision or something, that's really low. I'm not going to really leave the house with this. But that would be the correct thing to do. Read about that on the Libreboot website, or actually you can read about that here. I'll show you where. Alright, util Dell Flash Unlock. README. Well, it's not in there. You're gonna have to search for it. The website's kind of confusing, so I'm not messing with that. So next I'm gonna read the factory ROM internally. So I'm gonna actually do this in a different place. Let's just do it the home. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the home directory then. Sudo flash rom p internal. And then it's going to tell you what chip you have. I have the W25X32. I'm going to keep note of that. So then we're going to run that command again, but then add C flag and then the chip, and then R. We're going to read and then dump ROM1 bin. We're reading it, and then we're going to do it again. ROM2 bin. And then I'm going to do a SHA-1 sum on and SHA-1 sum ROM2 bin. You want to make sure these are exactly the same, and they are, so we know it was read correctly. The odds, I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility that you would have two wrong reads that return the exact same hash. but it's not very likely. So then next, um, we're we're ready to actually flash the ROM. So we're going to go back to the location of it. It's in the downloads for me. So it's in here. Ben E6400 4 megabytes. And then we're going to find which one is ours. I have an English keyboard, and I want to do cgrub core boot QWERTY keyboard. So we know that's what I have. Sudo flash ROM p internal right, and then cgrub init, and then oh shoot, core boot, and then us QWERTY. All right. Now we're going to flash. All right, so we got an error. The image size doesn't match the expected size. It's 1 bit too large. Well, the proper way to do that would be to first you want to make sure the download wasn't corrupted or messed with in transit between the mirror and your laptop. You would do a hash sum on your ROM and compare it to what is on the Libreboot website. I've already done that. So to fix this, I'm going to have to sudo truncate s and then the proper amount of bits, and then my ROM image, which is the one I just tried to do. This one is the one. So I'm going to copy that, paste it here, Control Shift V for me on my setup. Press Enter. It's truncated. So now we can try to run this again. And it's going to work. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reboot the computer. Or I'm going to do shutdown. And there we go. So you should have Libreboot. Once I shut it down, I wait about 15 seconds. I don't know if it really matters before I turn it on. But when you turn it on, you should have Libreboot on your Dell Latitude E6400. All right, thank you for watching.